Fighting Internet, I'm Venus. Welcome back to Genshin Impact. I know I started a challenge, but I'm going to continue that another time. I haven't gotten a response to it yet, and hopefully soon, because I think it's going to be a fun idea, and I want to continue doing it, but it would be unfair if I went ahead of the others and did it. So here we are back in Genshin. We are 1.5 days from the Eula banner actually starting, which should be quite a bit of fun to have her in. Another teaser type thing dropped that you can watch on YouTube. Let's see. I think I have to go to this tab. So we are going to have a story quest for Eula. And in order to unlock it, you have to be AR40 or up, and having cleared the prologue Song of the Dragon and Freedom, which I think most people have already done, unless they're new to the game. And here is said banner. So, of course, Eula being the 5-star, and the 4 stars will be Xinyan, Beidou, and Jinku, all of whom I have to some degree. Jinku is excellent support, and is very good at putting his Hydro, although his skill can take a while to cool down. Same with Beidou and her. Mostly with her elemental burst, her ultimate. It takes a while, but if you put in the recharge, well, you can kind of circumvent that. In Xinyan, ironically, her performance levels don't tend to be that high, so I don't tend to use her all that much, and her shield doesn't stick around for very long. So despite being Pyro and a Claymore like Diluc, she doesn't seem to get a whole lot of use. But Beidou and Jinku are definitely very, very popular characters. Let's see where I have them. I did uninstall another update from Windows, but this does seem to be hanging. So I have Beidou at C2. So I could definitely use more of her. Jinku I have at full constellation. So extras of him aren't going to be at all useful. To be unfortunate. In Xinyan, I don't have any constellations of. Yep, none. So if I did get, that would definitely make her more powerful. So C1 upon scoring a crit hit increases attack speed Normal and charge attacks by 12% for 5 seconds can only occur once every 5 seconds. That's not that great. Physical damage has its crit rate increased by 100% and will form a shield at shield level 3 rave when cast. So C2 is definitely a step up. Increases the level of sweeping further by 3. Sweeping further swing damage decreases opponent's physical res by 15% for 12 seconds. It's starting to make sense why she's on Eula's banner. Increases the level of Rift Revolution by 3. And decreases the stamina consumption of Xinyan's charge attack by 30%. Additionally, Xinyan's charge attacks gain an attack bonus equal to 50% of her defense. Does anything else on her scale to defense? Or her shield, yeah, her shield level and absorption, she scales to defense just like Noelle does. I feel like I should have known that, but I didn't. What do I have her at anyway? 60, so she's serviceable. Thank you, Xinyan. Anyway, yeah, another teaser type thing dropped for Eula, where she was dancing, so I kind of get some Vaishni vibes from her for that reason as well. And then at the end, kind of did a shippy thing with Amber. I'm hoping maybe this means that Amber will get a buff. Mihoyo, please? Amber buff? Anytime soon? And also, rather obvious in the face of it, when you start with Cryo and put in Pyro, you get Melt. And it's definitely a heart-melting moment when Eula is warm and extends a hand toward Amber. Let's get some pine from me. Not that I'm severely short of pine. It's the sap, yeah. Good, good. Pretty good shape, apart from the Eula. But I am here after all. I definitely do not appreciate all the lag. But I need to get Venti's quest out of the way so that I can Belzarine. But it's not on me. At least I thought I heard. I think sometime in the video I should explain my Bridge Bunnies challenge more fluidly, because I kind of struggled my way through my original explanation, but not at this moment. And I should definitely do it over the backdrop of this. Oh. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Right now I want to do it in a couple of days. I'm not sure yeah. There's 1.5 days before Eula comes in. I want to pull for her on stream. Well, it'll be a bit before that happens. Camera sensitivity up and down so bad. Let's switch this up a bit. Better. Why is she jumping up and down randomly in the middle of no one? Maybe her animations are restricted or part of the story? Oh yeah, it must be part of the story.
Hey, look over there!
Yeah, it looks like she's talking to someone. But we don't see anyone.
She's all by herself, right?
I don't see anyone. But then again, no, not even using vision.
Because she's acting as if she's talking and laughing with somebody else. Paimon's creeped out.
I had an imaginary friend too when I was a kid. Plus, I'm talking to you.
What? You mean you used to act like that too?
Everyone was a kid once. Well, talking to you, I'm not so sure. I'm not even sure what you are.
So is this an invisible friend who hangs out with you sometimes? Or do they just exist in your imagination?
Ain't it? I don't hear any of my voice in playback. Why is she jumping up and down? There we go. I thought I would check. Imagination means in your imagination, or in your imagination means imagining. This is the same thing. Why do you even get a choice?
Imagination.
Oh, thank you for following. I'm still Delicless. And also, welcome to the stream. Yes, I too am still Delicless. It is a pain that we both can share.
Oh, you must mean imagined friend, right? Why didn't you just say so?
Same thing.
So, this imaginary friend of yours, when does Paimon get to meet them?
There. Invisible doesn't necessarily mean he's not there. We don't hang out anymore.
Seriously? So, imaginary friends just disappear when you grow up?
Usually. Although sometimes some people don't grow up all the way.
Oh, Paimon was looking forward to meeting yours. Hey, don't suppose your sister has an imaginary friend too?
He does.
No way!
We are twins after all.
You guys are so lucky! Because they have this game in Liyue. Have you heard of it? It's a 4-player game, but it seems you guys could play it with just the 2 of you.
It somewhat doesn't work that way. Kind of wish it does. When you have games that you need the right number of players for. One of my brother's favorite new games to play is Root. It's a game for up to 4 players. You can play it with 2, but each of the faction plays a little bit differently, even in the original version of it with the first 4 factions. So part of the difficulty lies in the fact that each person has to learn how their own faction plays, and because they're all different, they all have to learn different stuff. And it takes practice games also to learn. So I played as the Marquis de Chat, and I played as the Eerie, the birds. And gaining control of different clearings and stuff like that, it all works differently for everyone. And they all also have different levels of challenges. Not only have I played as the 2 simplest factions, I've also won and lost as them. I haven't lost as Eerie, but I've only played as them. And was cautious about it. I do recommend Root if you can get the players for it. And there are expansions that allow for more of an automated deck if you needed more players. But of course, it's part of an expansion, not the main game. There's also an automated deck for Red Dragon Inn, which is my favorite game. But of course, part of another expansion. I, I think it's only in the Smorgasbox currently. So same kind of pain. And another game that can be complicated to play if you don't have the right amount of players is Scythe, which takes about half an hour to set up due to all of the different pieces working together, but it's extremely well designed. But it also takes a lot of time in practice games to learn. And all these games that are well designed, it can be worth learning to play. Definitely better than Monopoly.
Oh, Traveler! Fancy meeting you here.
Oh, you mean you're active around here, Venti? Could I ask you a question about Kinarea?
Tone deaf bard. What are you doing here?
Hey, don't act like that. I have a question for him. Or I will later. This is supposed to take place before we will be reunited.
I'm here because Lisa has been making some exciting new contraptions.
And this has to do with you. How exactly?
Why does the thought of Lisa's contraptions make Paimon so nervous?
I don't know. We've never seen one.
Come now, that's no way to speak about the elegant Miss Lisa.
Huh. Well, at least you have a high opinion of her.
For this particular contraption, Lisa had to import some dangerous materials from Sumeru.
And you're telling us all this why exactly?
Dangerous?
I assume he's holding it out. A monocle equipped with some sort of detector?
That's right. Looks like a monocle, but actually it's called a Nernama detector.
What's a Nernama?
Sadly, Lisa isn't able to use it herself, so I'm borrowing it for a while. And also, I'm testing it out for her, to see if it actually works.
Oh, so you're doing a job for her. But why isn't she able to use it? But you are.
Huh? Why can't Lisa use it?
Exactly my question.
Perhaps it's because she lacks a certain childlike sense of wonder. Or maybe there's some other reason for it.
She has a different kind of wonder for sure.
If you want to know for sure, just ask her yourself sometime.
That may be a dangerous line of questioning, but I guess if it's something we can bring up.
So, you can see them? Go on, tell us. What does his imaginary friend look like?
That would be telling.
And you're not exactly one for telling, are you? Speaking of telling, the question.
Anyway, it's all yours now, Traveler. Take a look. See if you can see Nora's imaginary friend.
So you're just going to end it off on us, huh?
Do you see him? Do you see him?
No, it really works.
So it does work for you too.
Paimon wants to see? Wait, but this gizmo isn't in Paimon's size.
I could hold it up for you.
Alright then, you'll just have to be Paimon's eyes on the ground. Let's go see what everyone's imaginary friends look like.
Okay. I'm not sure why I can't hold it up to you.
Flora from the flower shop always seems kinda floaty-headed, you know? Paimon bets she has an imaginary friend.
Floaty-headed? Isn't that kind of rude? Just... Yeah, Venti is still busy. I had a feeling. And installed the Windows update, and it's still a bit slow. I don't know why Microsoft can't do better QC and testing, especially with popular games. It's like this one. Not to toot MiHoYo's horn for them. So to be fair, this is definitely a good free game. Wish these things didn't trigger automatically.
There it is! Behold, a floaty imaginary friend for floaty-headed Flora! A bloaty floaty!
Oh yeah, that's what those are called. Also, it's funny it didn't load in right away. Huh. This makes sense that her imaginary friend would be a plant, considering her line of work. But I guess that's why they changed Flora from an adult to a child, so that this part of the story would actually work. But then the other part was something that people protested. Or there was another part, I'm not sure it's part of this.
Imaginary friends can be plants now?
It can be anything. Also, you're talking like she's not there? That's pretty rude.
Hi, Traveler. Hi, Bard.
Even her voice doesn't match the child. Hey, Fleur, can I ask a question?
Sure. How can I help?
Who's your friend?
Oh, you mean Mr. Floaty? Most people can't see him.
We can't either unless we use this thingy that Lisa lent to Venti, which she lent to us.
Mr. Floaty is my bestest friend. We grew up together.
You say grew up, but
No fair. Paimon hates feeling left out.
you don't even know if you are a child.
Flora, why exactly are you friends with a bloaty floaty?
What's wrong with it? I always wanted to be friends with a plant who could fly.
And that could fly. I guess that's one way to describe it.
Friends with a flying plant? Why? Because then when it's windy, you and your friend can fly off into the sky together. You gotta admit that's pretty cool.
Sure.
Isn't that called being blown away?
Sometimes. Maybe you want to go where the wind takes you. It's a very Mondstadt thing.
That's what some people like to call it. I only found out this plant existed from an explorer who told me stories of his adventures.
Yeah, we've seen a few.
I think his name was Stanley.
Oh, I've encountered Stanley. He talks about it, a lot about what he does.
And you can tell he's an expert at it from the stories he tells. The amazing adventures of Stanley are super famous in Mondstadt. He's in the city at the moment. You should go ask him to tell you some of his stories.
That sounds like a fun idea for next time. But right now we have other things to attend to.
We do we?
Flora's, pretty mysterious
Touch,
too.
right, touch.
Which child shall we interrogate next?
Paimon's thinking. Oh, how about that little guy on the bridge?
Finding someone to chat to would be
Have I
better than
actually
standing around.
talked to Timmy on this account? So many birds. And I'm just gonna scare them away, huh? No matter what I do. What if I'm Ganyu? Being an Adeptus. Oh, come on. What if I walk? I'll try that next time then. It doesn't seem to matter what you do, you always scare. A rune guard? Where has even heard of a rune guard? Well, maybe not heard, but seen.
That is unexpected.
Yes, why a rune guard?
Timmy's imaginary friend is a ruin guard?
I've heard of guardian angels, but this is ridiculous. It's an imaginary friend. Unless it's not.
What say you we postpone our conversation with Timmy for the time being?
Come on, it's time to say the line.
Huh? Paimon has a favorite line?
The one that is exploring the area ahead of us later.
Seriously? Oh, alright then.
Better than an emergency food.
How about we explore the area ahead of us later? Children are more open-minded. Is that why they can think up all kinds of imaginary friends?
Fitting, isn't it? That the City of Freedom should be home to children with such boundless powers of imagination.
What about adults' imaginations? Let's ask some adults at the tavern.
You know, we passed some adults on the way here. We can. No, not interested. In the tavern, but it's over on this side. Diluc is here. Hello, Diluc. I'm still Dilucless, and Dilucless me are here.
The thing about wine is, you have to drink it at the tavern, or you miss out on half the fun.
Why is the camera down like that? Is this a glitch?
Seems to me you'd find some way of keeping yourself amused even if you drank alone.
If I didn't know any better, I would say you're being deliberately uncivil.
And if I didn't know any better, I'd say my game is glitched.
Just drink responsibly on my premises, okay?
You hear that, Venti? Oh, why is it aimed down?
Oh, and if I did have one too many, what
What
then?
the-
You'd throw me out along with the trash, is that it?
Oh, they were supposed to be seated the entire time. Miho, can you fix your stuff, please? Do I have to send another feedback?
Throw you out?
Also, unexpected crotch shot for Kea.
You know, the same way you threw out Father's legacy. You sold off his mansion, or maybe you've forgotten.
Yeesh. A little bit sticky much? Salty, maybe?
I see no reason to cling to things that have outlived their purpose.
Is that so? Then I trust you were most swift indeed to part with a certain vase?
Sorry, I have no recollection.
And suddenly Venti's also seated. And Diluc is just done.
That's odd. Master Diluc, I'm sure I saw such a vase in your home. A beautiful one. Unmistakable, in fact.
And Khaled actually doing something that might be a little bit positive.
Seems our suspicions were right. Grown-ups don't appear to have imaginary friends.
Like I said, a lack of childlike wonder.
Seems adults are the same everywhere.
So people just stop dreaming when they grow up? Okay, well, Paimon for one never wants to grow up.
It's not exactly the same as childlike, although it would probably be better if we didn't lose it as adults. That way we always see the world as fresh and we get better inspiration. Although to an extent, someone who seems to have retained their awe is Silverveil, which is one of the reasons why I like to watch her.
This raises an interesting question. At what age exactly do people's imaginary friends disappear?
On the standard line, probably around the same time they try to get jobs. So by that same token, Venti, maybe yours never does.
Let's go and check.
How exactly?
How about Ellen? Someone of her age surely must have some imagination left, don't you think?
Uh-oh. Somehow Paimon finds the idea of not being able to see Ellen's imaginary friend kinda scary.
Ellen is the one who trains in the courtyard, right? Who wants to be like Jean. Let's pick up some more pine. If I could hit this thing. What? Are you invincible right now? I spooked the doggo for nothing. Did I just hit anything? I do not appreciate it. Let's try again here. Am I hit? And I can't hit it again. Makes no sense. It's not like I'm in proximity. So weird. Here. Definitely. I do a good spin, spin, spin. Where are her training dummies? Maybe they're just loading in. She has a Jean as her imaginary friend. That's interesting.
Jean? What is Jean doing here?
She's not really here, just, a projection of her, so to speak.
Is Master Jean Ellen's imaginary friend?
Ellen is really determined to become a knight.
Yeah, she's so conscientious. It's terrifying.
I didn't use that word, but okay. And also, why are you scared of it?
Oh, hello. What are you guys doing?
Testing a theory.
Are you always training here?
You bet. Today, I heard Stanley talking about his adventures. It was incredible. It got me really pumped up.
I get the feeling we should talk to Stanley. Or rather, that we're going to end up doing that anyway.
Oh, I hope I can be as outstanding as him one day.
Oh. Putting someone else besides Jean up on the pedestal now, are we?
So that you can fight shoulder to shoulder with Master Jean? I mean, obviously I want to become a knight. And if I got to go on an adventure with Jean herself, well, even better.
So do you want to be a knight or an adventurer? Apparently you can't be both. Honoring it.
Seems Ellen really looks up to Jean.
I believe you'll succeed.
Huh.
thinking, it's not every day I get to hang out with the honorary knight. Would you join me for some sword training?
Is it just me, or does her voice sound just slightly male? An interesting mix.
Huh. How can I smash all these training dummies at once?
Just 3? I mean, I could probably use no ultimate.
Speed of light!
Oh,
Shame. Didn't manage to... Huh. How can I smash all these training dummies at once?
oh, all at the same time. That's interesting. What if I do this?
Huh. So that's how to do it. I'm impressed.
Well, is extremely impressive. Still don't know why exactly she's not a... I suppose that would be answered more fully in her opinion.
Oh, thank you. It's clear I still have a long way to go in my training.
So modest. I, for one, think you're quite the pro at this already.
Maybe what I should do is every time I get the commission, test a different way to destroy all the dummies.
Well, I'm exhausted from training, so clearly my fitness needs some work. One day, though, I'll smash all the training dummies in Mondstadt.
Just the dummies?
Ellen, she's our girl. If she can't do it, Hilly Churl.
Nice try. Take it back to the workshop.
Thanks. Shoot, I got so caught up here I forgot there's something I was supposed to do today.
And you'd probably better go do that.
Ugh, but I'm so sore from training. I can hardly move.
There's someone has to solve. Should we get Barbara?
Honorary Knight, could you deliver a message to Jack for me?
Sure. Where can I find him?
He's gone adventuring at the Temple of the Lion with Stanley today.
Again? The last time he got into trouble at the Temple of the Lion.
Stanley's a truly legendary adventurer, renowned in all of Mondstadt. He once set foot in the Mare Javari.
I've heard that name before.
We were gonna meet up tonight and discuss adventure plans. Could you let him know it'll have to be another day?
Temple of the Lion? Sure.
Great! Thank you so much.
I don't know why he would miss that place. Also, I think I went there for an exploration. Wait, I can do the other one now? But I'm further into this one by now. Right? May as well try to finish it off, and then I can go back to Master's Day off. I never complete this. Let's go in. I do have some resin. I also bought some transient resin from the from Chubby yesterday, and it expires in, you buy it and then it expires in a week's time. It gives you 60 resin, so it's a pretty good item.
Oh dear, everyone's laundry is still on the line. May I be excused to fetch it in?
Everyone's laundry? I think it's soaked by now. Can I pick that? Yeah. Let's head in and out of the rain. The Great Adventurer Stanley. Yeah, I didn't complete all of the trials yet, but quite a few of them. So in case you forgot, each of these trials gives you 2 characters, or a set of characters, and then you have to do enough damage and create enough of the elemental reaction that's named. So vaporize, melt out, corroded, so on and so forth, until you do all of them. Recommended party level 68. I'm sure not immediate. Like, I'm sure it would have been lower level for me if I had done it right away. Maybe not. So it wants me to replace Noel with an animal. But what if I get Venti because he's here? But then that wouldn't be there, right? Oh. Let's go without, like, having a shield. See whether or not it's actually a requirement. Put in.
The Temple of the Lion? We explored this place once before, didn't we? During the Storm Terror incident. Seems
I did
like
get
it's
Venti.
now a hot spot for adventurers. That can only mean one thing. We didn't bag all the loot last time!
That's what you care about the most?
Looks like we can't go any further.
Not to worry, allow me. Those who wander in the dust, the wind shall send soaring sky high.
I figured. Good elevator. We don't have Lisa this time, but there's no Electro Monument either. And no monsters. Nothing from those? That's kind of unfortunate. Oh, there's some monsters. It feels kind of awkward though. Ambush and ambush it. And aim properly.
Let's play.
Or just popped in.
No touching. Brace yourselves. Let's light it up.
Harder to see on them. Normal arrow. Maybe I should aim at the normal guy. I already turned the sensitivity for aim shot all the way up. Oh, what else I can do? Oh, don't want to explode myself. Like these on that. Or maybe because I did ice on them. The hilly trolls were just literally camping out here.
Hey, are those guys?
Time for takeoff.
I don't know what they were, but they are now is in trouble.
Incoming. Don't blink.
Nope.
Incoming. Hey.
Oh, there they are. They're right in the back of the room. Though they hadn't taken anything. They were just here. Oh, that's just a drain pipe. Oh, here's Jack and Stanley. Do this first. Let's leave that until we've spoken to them, though.
I was so sure I was about to die.
Right, there was only one abyss mage.
To be fair, that could have gone either way. So, you must be Jack the Adventurer, I assume?
Yes. Who are you?
Actually,
He doesn't
we
know.
came looking for you.
Ellen has a message for you. She said she won't be able to join you today to plan out your next adventure together. She'll join you some other time.
Oh, I see. I feel bad you had to come all this way to find me, and then had to rescue me.
We teleported. The distance is not a problem.
Huh? I don't see what all the fuss is about. It was nothing that I, Stanley, couldn't have dealt with by myself.
So why didn't you?
Whoa, you are Stanley? You are that legendary adventurer? Renowned in all of Mondstadt? Who once set foot in the Mare Javari?
Does it seem like she's teasing?
The very same.
I must say, it's an honor to meet one as legendary as yourself.
Says the little walking god.
Well then, how would everyone like to proceed? Head back or head further inside?
Jack, what do you think?
I think we should keep going. With Stanley by our side, we'll have no problem.
Okay, motion passed by unanimous consent. Let's head further in.
No one now said a thing.
So, I'm guessing you mostly came here because you want to hear my adventure stories. Am I right?
No, we really were just looking for Jack.
Kind of rude though.
Do you know who I am? I am Stanley, renowned adventurer of Mondstadt.
Yeah, I think we got that.
Well, your attitude says maybe you don't got that. I am Stanley, the living legend. Stanley who braved the Magivari.
Enough already! Ugh! Stop name-dropping yourself every time you open your mouth!
Even
It's true,
Fineman's
though.
here too.
Stanley is the most amazing guy.
Well, Jack will listen, won't you? Now, where was I?
You and your partner reached the Mare Javari, a famously terrifying place with not a wisp of wind.
Partner?
Precisely! There was a deathly silence in the air. A sea of ashes stretched out before us, as far as the eye could see. The Mare Javari. Suddenly, my partner was caught in a whirlpool whipped up by an evil beast. Luckily, I managed to grab hold of him just in time.
Wow. So, did he make it?
Sadly, in the end, I alone was able to set foot on home ground once more, where the gentle breeze carried away the tears welling up in my eyes.
That poor guy. How could that happen?
Jack, you can't cry so easily if you want to be a great adventurer.
I know. Because an adventurer's proudest achievement is to die in the course of their final adventure.
Where'd the other guy?
But whatever happens, no adventurer should ever die in a place where the wind doesn't blow. The wind has to bring your spirit back to Mondstadt.
That's right. To die in a place where the wind blows, and to have your spirit carried back to Mondstadt on the wind, that's the dream.
Yeah. Although, the most I can aspire to right now is beginner's commissions, like clearing out the slimes clogging up the sewers.
Every little bit.
Shouldn't die in a place with no wind. Why do they keep going on about that? Is that why Stanley thinks the Mare Javari is the most terrifying place in the world? Because there's no wind there?
There's a place with no window. Alright, Venti, you're up again.
Yahoo!
Oops. I almost forgot. Guess we could try to sweep them.
Think you can get away?
Nowhere to hide.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Don't blink. Hey!
Let's play!
Incoming.
A team of 5 or 6 would definitely be more effective than a team of 4.
Traveler, I believe I've made a small discovery.
Oh?
Could I ask you to use the Nernama detector once more?
Really? But he's an adult. Oh. Why is there another person, and why is he acting exactly like Stanley?
What? Stanley has an imaginary friend?
It seems his imaginary friend is a seasoned warrior, covered in scars from head to foot, and a look of staunch determination on his face.
It fits Stanley's description of himself.
You're saying his imaginary friend is an idealized version of his own self?
Possible.
Interesting idea, but is it true?
Maybe we should just ask.
Please excuse me. I'll be leaving now.
He's seeing you, I guess.
Bye, Stanley.
Just walks away.
Do you two still have time to spare?
What is it?
A few days ago, Stanley got drunk and told me a secret. Something he's never told anyone before.
And you're just going to share it with us?
The weapons he took on his adventure all those years ago. They were none other than those once wielded by Mondstadt's greatest hero, Vanessa herself. The sword of brilliant valor and the shield of magnificent honor.
And how come he doesn't use them?
I don't know whether you believe me, but apparently, both the sword and shield are still right here in Mondstadt, over in Dadaupa Gorge.
And he doesn't possess them because?
Since you guys are the experts at this, can you come with me to try and retrieve these two legendary weapons?
Why'd he abandon them in the wild?
I don't know. Outstanding individuals always come with their quirks, right?
That doesn't quite cover it.
If I can just get a hold of something impressive enough to show my family what I'm capable of, maybe they'll finally come around to the idea of me being an adventurer.
Oh, I see.
Right now, I'm just a rookie. My abilities are limited, and my parents don't support my goals one bit.
That seems like a familiar story. Was it Sansa the Bard?
So, what do you say? Help a guy out? I can't bring myself to tell Stanley about it, because my reasons are so... selfish. But, I swear I'll give the weapons back to him as soon as I'm done.
We'll see, it all depends on family.
Jack, let's help him out.
Alrighty then.
Venti, you coming too?
I don't know.
Oh, one other thing. I have a bottle of rare vintage wine that I had someone fetch for me a couple years ago. Help me find these weapons, and it's all yours.
Oh, Jack really knows how to entice Venti into a little quest.
Dadaupa Gorge, was it? Let's hurry, there's no time to lose.
No. If he hasn't heard of Venti, why would he offer him drink? Yeah, I don't think that message needs to be there precisely. Right, let's leave the maiden and continue onward. Seems Stanley is up to something. But we've had and heard of a bunch of swords. That's shields, though. And have those ever come up before? Maybe they're in some of the stories that we have. But I haven't read through those. Maybe I should. I can do that off screen. Though a lot of reading necessarily be good fodder for stream. Apart from longer streams, like 24-hour streams, but for that, I think I would switch between different things. Not just games, but activities too. Probably do some building.
Nothing will get done until it clears. Let this be a lesson to those who yesterday said I'll do it tomorrow.
So it's still raining. I expected the weather to change by the time we got out. port. So we gotta get there on our own too.
Speed of light. Huh?
Maybe the weather is scripted here. For the quest, I mean. Something hasn't quite loaded in yet. Bring this sword down. Pretty sure how we're expecting. Suddenly, just sudden. Something still. Just keep going around. Get the wood from here while I'm here. After all, that's the one I'm lowest on. At the center of this cluster. Wasn't I? Hot. We have good cook. There's another one of those. Amazing line. Right. Hit the button.
Incoming.
Problem is, I really have no idea what to do with the quest.
Someone needs assistance.
Wait, have things been dropping and I had no idea just because of the lag? Kind of have to take it on faith, almost that I'm going. I've marked up the shrine. Oh. Let's see if we can ruin things inside that. Probably where it is.
Hey, that bunch of hilichurls! Are they holding some kind of ceremony?
Seems they have a
And
sword.
what's with that pile of knickknacks? Are they worshipping them?
Seems so. That must be the Sword of Brilliant Valor, surely!
Leave it all to me.
Hello, I'm your worst nightmare. Made with a large sword. You weren't standing out in the ring. That's smart.
Let's light it up!
Oh, come on.
Speed of light!
Maybe some of your own medicine.
Everybody stand back! Incoming!
I really haven't stopped clicking.
Don't blink!
It just looks like kind of a large sword that's, you know, just an old sword. We've had quite a few like it.
Lo and behold, the Sword of Brilliant Valor.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure? Looks kinda basic to Paimon, and a little worse for wear, too.
Would be old, and it wouldn't be in the best shape if it was abandoned.
Why would hilichurls be bowing down before a piece of junk like this?
I'm not really sure what they were doing, though.
Seems somebody tossed an old sword into a pile of spoils these hilichurls were already celebrating.
This is in terrible shape, and it's so basic, I'm at a loss for words.
Well, sometimes people just give things unusual names. I don't know.
Say, Jack, have you ever seen an anemo crystal fly? They're found in the open country around Mondstadt City. If you saw one in broad daylight, you wouldn't bat an eyelid. But in the pitch blackness of night, its brilliant glow is mesmerizing. It truly resembles an exquisite crystal dancing in the night air.
I don't know, I can usually catch them at night too. Although, usually I don't have to deal with such much lag as I have been dealing with today.
Is valor not the same? When everything is going your way, it seems meaningless, fades into the background. But when you're in dire straits, valor is the thing that gets you fired up and fighting back. It's the brilliant ray of light that guides you out from the darkness.
Excellent recovery.
You're right. You're right. Then this has to be it. This is the Sword of Brilliant Valor.
Well, only if you can imagine Vanessa ever wielding it.
So, we got our sword. Now we just need that shield.
I'm starting to get what he's after.
Let's scout around. It's definitely in Dadaupa Gorge, so... huh?
There's somebody there.
When did you get here?
Stanley? What's he doing here?
He's acting so weird.
Like we're not?
What happened? Why did you stop all of a sudden?
Huh? Oh, it's nothing. Just one of those Mora spouting weasel thieves passed by is all.
Weasel thieves. Right, that's what those are called.
What? Where? I want to see.
Maybe another time. We have a shield to find, remember?
Field of Magnificent Honor, huh? Still finding stuff that dropped earlier. Well, I should probably look for another building. One I thought that was a bit better. It's still laggy. Oh well, I'll deal with it. I was just going to say it's not so bad that it ruins the game, and then that happened. So, let's go closer to the center of this quest area. The troll seems to have a pet fox. Deal with the hill trail? How about some sunset? Or we can offer it something that it doesn't usually get. This. There's something else. I can't get the butterfly. What?
Let's light it up!
Alright, let's try and do a deal. Deal or no deal? For its wooden shield?
Behold, the shield of magnificent honor.
You trying to sell me a bridge here?
Liar, liar, pants on fire. It's a chunk of wood.
I have a shield, but it's not the one that...
A chunk
Never
of
mind.
scrap wood with the handle attached. Who in their right mind would use this as a shield?
The Hilitro. Don't insult it in front of itself.
There's also wine stains on it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was just taken from a wine barrel.
Good construction then, though.
And yet, my bard's intuition tells me that this is none other than the shield of magnificent honor. Warriors wear their battle scars with pride, and shields are no different. Surely an intact shield is one that has shied away from the battlefield. Is not the broken and splintered shield the one that has fought in countless wars and lived to tell the tale? Though the soldier's body be tired and torn, still they fight till the very end, till they have no blood left to bleed. Such magnificent strength of will. Is that not the true meaning of honor?
And he is in top form today.
You do have a point. Shiny new shields don't stay new and shiny for long. Okay then. Well, maybe if we ask nicely, he'll just let us take the shield of magnificent honor for free.
Well, not for free, but we can exchange him stuff for it, at least.
Ahem. Excuse me, Mr. Hilichurl?
We could speak to it in a bit of Hilitro.
him by now. If not, there's always body language.
In Platada. Oh, fresh and fruit.
Seems cheerful enough. Maybe negotiating will work after all.
Didn't seem to like that though.
Oh, he did not seem to appreciate that.
Well, if you insist, a tune I shall strum.
That's better.
Seems cheerful enough. Maybe.
Oh,
Oh, yeah! He actually gave us the shield!
really? He seems to still have it. Also, there's some fresh meat.
Guys, thank you so much. I can't believe I actually found them.
And someone appreciated Venti's song.
Mom,
Bonus.
Dad, check out the legendary weapons I found.
Where are they?
Hey, wait! The wine, you promised! And I actually helped a lot this time. What are you doing here, Stanley? Out for a stroll?
Hey, what are you doing here, Bard? Fancy that, huh? You, out for a stroll too?
Why don't you just speak frankly?
Oh, that's right. An after-dinner stroll, to be precise. We were also helping a friend look for something.
Paimon's starting to think Stanley might be a fraud.
I don't think so too.
Did Stanley plant the sword and shield here in advance so as to not hurt Jack's feelings?
Adventurers must be pretty familiar with Upa Gorge. You've fought battles here before, after all.
You better believe it. I can navigate this whole area with my eyes closed.
Wow. Then I admire your perseverance. And your memory, too.
It's only to be expected of a great adventurer like me. You guys had better watch out, though. This place is crawling with hilichurros.
I've noticed, but have you also noticed the meat by your feet?
I'll get back to my, stroll now. Goodbye.
You don't seem very certain.
Guilty conscience much?
Well, he shouldn't have gotten so carried away bragging to Jack, should he? Although, on further reflection, I must say I'm intrigued. Someone who can't let go of the past and gives up on the present instead.
Why would you come to such a conclusion?
I wonder, if such a person was forced to take their first step towards the future, which way would they go?
What are you talking about?
I'm just musing to myself.
You sure about that?
Anyway, I propose we take a trip to Angel's Share tonight.
Fine. Oh, 3 things from that. Well, the Angel's Share is not a place for children, so I'll switch to an adult again.
In adventuring, as in business, you always have to seize the opportunity while it's there.
Have you heard? The rite of parting.
Angel ship. Right. Next step. Oops. That's the wrong window. I have Teams open while I'm streaming. And let's this, close it. Maybe that will make it slightly faster. I don't know. Probably doesn't affect gameplay in the least. But it's one less thing to worry about, that's for sure.
Tell me, Stan. Tell me, what should I do?
He's drunk in his cups.
Huh? Why does he keep repeating his own name?
There's another Stanley.
Surely not. Even I've never heard tell of a second Stanley.
Oh, Stanley. It should have been me. I should have been the one to die in the Melchivari that day. Why won't your spirit come and stop me from using your name? Why, Stanley? Why?
Ah, so there is only one Stanley. Matter of which one died and which one survived. Pick his name. That can happen from time to time. Still tragic. Means that the original Stanley is dead.
If only you hadn't had to save a rookie like me, you would have never died in that windless corner of the world. You were a renowned adventurer, destined to become a legend one day. But now, that'll never happen, because your life was cut short, and all because of a worthless tag-along.
You know, the fact that he's saying all this aloud means that he doesn't actually particularly care whether someone else overhears.
Does anyone get what's going on here?
Yes. This Stanley is perpetuating the real Stanley's life and name.
I think our friend really did make it to the Merjavari. And I think the tragedy he encountered there was real too. But the real adventurer, the real Stanley, that was his partner, not him.
So who is this guy?
The real Stanley is the one who died to save our Stanley.
Wait, so the only reason our Stanley is called Stanley in the first place is because he stole the other Stanley's name?
Well, stolen technically might be a bit inaccurate. After all, the original had already died.
I fear that may be the case.
Stanley, for so many years I've lived in fear. Fear that Mondstadt will forget all about you. So I tell you adventure stories at every opportunity. Mondstadt must remember. Stanley reached the center of the Merjavari. He's the greatest adventurer there ever was, and he lives on. Stanley will never die, because I am Stanley. I am Stanley. I'm sorry, Stanley. I'm getting too old. Now, are you guys planning on eavesdropping much longer?
But he was aware.
Yikes! We're busted!
I thought we were practically hiding in the first place. Especially with you floating there. Can I sit in Stanley? Not where I intended to sit.
Go away. Save your questions. Just leave me in peace.
But...
Leave now. Don't make me tell you again.
Honorary Knight, Venti, and Paimon. I'm so glad you guys are here. I've been looking for you everywhere. I wanted to thank you again for helping me find the sword and shield. My parents are finally supporting me.
I'm glad something positive came of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. They even said they're gonna pay for someone to fix up the Sword of Brilliant Valor and Shield of Magnificent Honor for me, so I can take them out on the road.
Oh, so you're actually going to use them. But repair it. I suppose that's good.
That's wonderful! So, Jack, is this the part where you bid farewell to Mondstadt and set off on your intrepid trip traversing to Vat?
That's a lot
No,
of tease.
not yet. I still don't have what it takes to go too far from home just yet.
At least you recognize that. Know your limits.
Besides, I'm sure Stanley still has a few stories left to tell. They're what inspired me to become an adventurer in the first place.
So something positive comes from it. Stanley and Sparrows.
Stanley, Oh, you're drunk again. We'll see you tomorrow then. After your hangover wears off. Maybe you can tell me some more of your stories?
Jack enjoys hearing them.
Stanley's really fond of that kid, don't you think?
Jack. Jack.
Jack left.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you for not telling him about my secret.
He believes in you.
Huh? All of a sudden you're facing the facts? That isn't like you.
Just now, I couldn't bear to look at him. His adventurous spirit is so pure, unblemished.
And I'm sure it reminds you of your past self. And the way you looked up to the original Stanley.
Just a weary old feckless fraud. But that kid is a brand new shining star, full of potential. I cannot allow his dreams to be crushed.
You're not a total fraud. Stanley's adventure stories and experiences. They're all true, aren't they?
Stories? Experiences? What's the point of them anymore?
They inspired Jack. What about that?
To be honest, my memories of adventuring and of Stanley, they're hazy these days. That's my biggest secret of all. And my biggest fear.
So rather than just Mondstadt forgetting Stanley, you're afraid that you'll forget him.
All these years, I've been living to tell his story. But his personality and the details of his life, I don't remember them clearly anymore.
I suppose one way to try to remember them would be to more fully inhabit the role of Stanley. But you would lose your own identity if you did that.
But the one thing I can never forget is that he died in a windless land, where his spirit can never be recovered.
His whole life he's been drowning in the guilt.
Exactly.
Regardless from this.
Even in his memory, the real Stanley isn't the living, breathing friend he knew at all. Instead, he's become fixed on the image of him as that battle-scarred warrior. And that image has held him captive his entire life.
That explains the image of the imagined friend.
I'm too old. I never let go. But still, so much has slipped away.
Memory is mutable.
I'm completely and utterly worthless.
Wouldn't say that either. You're still carrying his stories.
No
Jeff
adventurer
knows
should
them
have
because he.
gone that way. No adventurer ever.
Hans Archibald.
My true name? How did you know? The wind. I can hear the wind blowing in the Mare Javari. I always believed you existed.
Will you hand me your old friend's spirit?
It's a bit different.
I can't believe it. Thank you all. And thank you, Lord Barbados.
Well, someone else knows, but I don't think I'll share it around.
I'm sorry. It's gonna take me some time to calm back down.
Take your time.
I think that I'm gonna be okay.
So, should we call you Hans?
Ah, wonderful! Stanley reconnected with his true self and Jack can finally go his own way.
So, how did you know all about that?
This calls for a celebration. And by celebration, I do, of course, mean libation.
And by libation, you mean you're not leaving this tavern till you're too drunk to walk, right?
No, the wine here's too expensive. Jack still owes me some wine, though. He promised me a rare vintage in exchange for helping him out, remember?
Of course, you would remember that.
I'll head off to fetch the wine. See you shortly. Let's meet at the usual place.
So, the treat.
Huh? Where's that supposed to be? Why has Paimon never heard of it? Hey, Tone Deaf Bard!
I think I know where, possibly. Not marked. Venti is definitely one of the more unusual characters in the game. And again, they've all got their quirks. And still, yeah. Almost loaded in. I try and catch some crystal foam. Was the usual. I'm not getting the cue. No spot is highlighted. Can't be that someone else is busy now. It is? Now they've switched. No choice. So, I guess I've discovered that I shouldn't try to catch crystal flies on stream. I'll just miss them because of the lag. That's unfortunate. At least we can continue on with Jean's day off. Venti is right here. Okay, back and forth and back and forth.
So, yours is the cat that went missing.
Venti! Have you come to help?
Me here to help you? Why, on the contrary, it is I who needs the helping.
You go on.
Paimon just saw you talking to Margaret about Prince.
Aha! So, Prince is the name of the feline fiend who thieved my spare astral iron strings.
What's an astral iron string? Is it just for your loot?
Though it gladdens my heart to see that the free-spirited ethos of Mondstadt is alive and well in creatures great and small, still, it's a bit audacious.
He's a cat.
Prince is a mischievous little rascal, all right.
Looking like a parent who chooses to spoil said rascal.
Indeed. Just like Barbados.
Yes, quite. Now, let's see about getting ourselves an audience with His Little Highness Prince Rascal of Mondstadt. I have a performance tonight, and without my spare strings, I shall have to disappoint my audience.
What would a kitty cat want with lyre strings anyway?
Everyone knows cats go crazy for a ball of string.
That's not really string.
What?
These lyre strings are made of astral iron, which contains animo energy. That makes them extremely durable, so I normally just roll them up in a ball to make them easier to carry.
Oh. I get it.
That's a trick of the trade from a traveling bard.
Well, I guess it's not a trick of the trade that will prevent it from being stolen by a thieving cat.
The strings contain animo energy? That'll help us. It's time for you to use your elemental sight again. Paimon's sure there must be some elemental footprints or something.
Thank you all. Prince should be somewhere around the marketplace. It's a black cat you're looking for. Oh, take this fish. It's little Prince's favorite food. Maybe it'll help you find him.
Well, anything that'll help. Oh, no, I have to use some.
That's a nice haul.
Isn't this? Oh. Margaret is the... That must be the cat's tip. What did I just trigger?
Wow, Prince has very keen senses. It didn't take much to scare him off. See if you can approach him crouching from behind. That way your footsteps will be quieter. It must be difficult not being able to float.
Be quiet, you.
If you're anxious to find Prince, why not coax him to you with some fish? Kitty cats do love eating fish.
I'll attract more than just
If
him.
you run out of fish, go grab some from the lake. Now back to it.
I didn't even spot him.
Lord Barbados, please see to it that Godwin gets home soon and safe.
You down there? No, that's... That means that I was around him.
Haven't you heard? There's a strange wanderer near Wolfendom.
Oh, there he is.
Take your pick. You'll find second-rate items at Wagner's.
And now it's frozen.
Mondstadt welcomes you.
Too bad I couldn't do that as Kajing
There's a strange wanderer.
or Diana. How did you get here before me? Now I can trigger it on there. And it sort of blended in too.
Prince! Where did you go running off to? Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
We definitely had our work cut out for us looking for him.
Oh, Princey, how could you leave me like that?
Looks like those two need some time to themselves. And here are your astral iron strings, Venti.
You found them! Wonderful! I was not optimistic they would turn up.
In other words, you expected the cat not to have them anymore?
I dare say that a private performance played using these very same strings would not be an excessive way to show my gratitude.
What?
Don't tell me you're allergic to cats after all that.
Apologies. At this distance, my cat allergy seems to be rearing its head.
You didn't think to mention this before. It's a cat quest.
Oh, now Paimon gets why you didn't go looking for your strings by yourself?
Anyway, thanks for the help. I'll be going now.
And that's kind of bad.
Think we're finally finished with the commissions we were doing for Jean. A day in the life of Jean really is hard work. Wonder how she's feeling now. Let's head to the cathedral and pay her a visit.
But first... maybe I'm close to finishing off both sides. Oh, we have to go to the statue, not Windrise. Could have fooled me. Always went to the tree at the end of Quest for him before, so, you know, followed the pattern. Scaling something that you can go more vertical.
You made it. Finally.
Been waiting on.
Just tell us where you meet next time, okay? We looked everywhere.
We looked 2 places. I missed Crystal
So,
Flight.
did you at least manage to find your wine?
Yep. Well, sort of. Jack made it out to be a rare collector's edition vintage, when actually it's just a half bottle of regular cider. This takes me back. The first time I saw this view, I hadn't even taken on this form yet.
So this in your natural form or something?
It was about 2,600 years ago, before the world had come under the rule of the Seven.
So 2,600 years is before the 7, 500 is the fall of Kinarea.
At that time, old Mondstadt was ruled by a tyrant, who sealed off the city's perimeter with a ferocious hurricane. Even the birds couldn't get in or out.
That was the Carbrian, who Vanessa and Venti themselves overthrew.
Old Mondstadt? Oh, Paimon remembers! Nowadays it's known as Storm Terror's lair, right? You mentioned it before.
Correct.
That's right. The tyrant of the winds who once ruled from that tower was Decarabian, god of storms.
A god?
Back then, I was but a wisp among the 1,000 winds. I wasn't a god of anything. I didn't even have a human form. I was just a tiny elemental being who lived in the wind, a gentle breeze bringing subtle changes for the better, or tiny seeds of hope.
Sounds a bit more serious and somber than you are now.
A tiny elemental being? Without a human form? Venti, do you mean you used to look different than you do now?
That would be the implication, yes.
Yup. My current form is not so different from the situation with fake Stanley. I took the form of a friend.
You mean Hans.
In old Mondstadt transpired the story to be told. Where a tyrant ruled, I met a boy not that old. The lyre he played, and for a song he sought. But storm walls blocked blue sky. He was sincerely distraught. I do so wish to see the birds in flight, said he, his strong eyes filling with light. But his voice was lost in the howling wind's churn, for the whirlwind takes and gives not in return. The true sky and songs that cageless soar, were they not wishes worth fighting for? So the boy turned, extending his
I wish
hand.
he would play
Let us
Nami.
cast down the tyrant and his walls from this land. The young boy raised then the flag of revolt, and I threw myself into freedom's tumult. Victorious were we who fought to be free. Gods fell, winds whipped, nations shook violently. In the smoke, a despot met his doom. And we watched as his great tower fell none too soon.
Original Venti. And there's
Mondstadt
Vanessa.
began anew, the story passed down. And since then never has another worn its crown.
That's why Venti won't rule as
So then
Barbatos.
what happened to your friend?
And the situation ends with Stanley's friend.
Say, Paimon, do you wish to hear the next part of the story?
Yes, of course. The suspense is killing
You fetch us some fish with apples?
Now's the time you suddenly get a craving for apples? Really?
Getting a little peckish or something.
Oh, so peckish.
Paimon's had it up to here with you.
We've never been separate from Paimon since the beach.
You know, you're so smart it almost makes me uncomfortable sometimes.
I know things.
But then, maybe it's right that true friends can tell what the other is thinking. A refreshing drink, a gentle breeze. Moments like this always take me back. Back to a song that I first heard from him.
I'm listening.
Fly, fly away. Like a bird in the sky. See the world on my behalf. To the heavens may you fly.
You went to a transition screen for that. I'll wait to see what else he has to say. And even though listen wind blows heavy in its grief, not that mortals could ever see a moment of so brief. Is that all? The Venti was originally a wind spirit, wind wisp, not even a full spirit. He came to know the original Venti, who died helping to overthrow the Caribbean. But the original Venti died, and the wind wisp would eventually take on both his form and his name. Well, sort of. This form of Venti is slightly different from the child.
Let's go.
But he's still a bard, still loves songs and the wind. Certain ways in which things are carried, and certain ways in which things are forgotten, changed, or left behind. And while memory is mutable, as long as we carry people's stories, they cannot pass fully. After all, a person dies twice. Once from life, and once from memory. Amy, enough of the heavy. Guess we can just go into the church for the next part.
Balance, but I think this is pushing it. Hey!
So, let's see how much further we need to do on Jean's behalf. That was the quest I was originally doing before it had to go off on and do Venti's, because Venti was busy. Which of course means we're going to see him again now. Mikhail could have written that better, more streamlined. Otherwise you keep on having going back and forth, and it doesn't make sense because the dialogue involved in your encounters with Venti become disjointed. But he's not here. Maybe I should talk to her as Bennett.
Hi, Barbara. We're back.
Welcome back. You must be exhausted.
not exactly a better angle. I want one where they're all facing. I'm sure you must be exhausted too.
Oh, it's nothing. Looking after patients is all in a day's work for me.
And yet she's more than a patient, isn't she?
Jean has regained consciousness and should be back to her normal self soon enough.
Assuming she gets enough rest.
That's great news! Let's go and see her! But she just left the cathedral. I tried to tell her she needs more rest, but she wouldn't listen.
That's very Jean-like, isn't it?
She tried to act like she was fine and kept saying she wanted to get some fresh air. I bet you she's gone to Lady Vanessa's place again.
Lady Vanessa's place? You mean...
Where? Oh, that huge tree at Windrise? That place is dedicated to Mondstadt's hero, Vanessa.
Yeah, that's where I thought Venti would be. But then he turned up on this statue, and you're here.
Jean goes there whenever she feels lost and confused deep down inside.
Deep down, dark deep down?
Barbara, that's some pretty personal stuff. How do you know so much about Jean's innermost thoughts? Jean, mentioned it to me, you know, before she left.
Jean is still recovering, right?
That's what I'm worried about too. But I still have work to do here.
Oh, we'll go see to her.
Don't worry, we'll take over nursing duty for now. Great. That puts my mind at rest. May the Animo Archon protect you. And Jean.
Not really sure he's that much for protection, but okay.
Jean is not as strong as she comes off. It's so good that you're here for her.
Mm. Right, teleporting again. Must seem odd to them that we suddenly disappear every time. We would have had to teleport to get out of the church anyway. Anyway, I understand segmenting things into zones, but given how comparatively little there is inside of places, sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it's not. And of course, you have different rooms in places like the Knight's HQ that you don't need to teleport between. And same with domains. So it's hard to tell how they're set up. And at the same time, there are super old games like for the Apple II that require so much less memory because that's what they were at the time. Suppose I could heal up while I'm here. But funny that Barbara didn't do it. After all, that is her job. Oh yes, also. I can probably do it now just so you can see. If I make my party into what it was originally, I still have it anywhere? Probably not. Doesn't matter. It's not like I would completely forget anyway.
Outrider Amber, reporting.
This will be interesting.
Here, let me help you.
Put it in the same order? Here? We leave that out. I don't think so. No. That's in order of power. But if I go like this, this is the order in which I acquired all of the different characters. So Noah was first, then Mona, Chongyun, Bennett, Beidou, Barbara after the quest, then Ningguang. Yeah, the first one I got from a wish. Her I got from Unreconciled Stars. I got her from clearing floor 3 in Nebis. Jean was my second 5-star that I got. Sucrose, Jinkyu, Banner, them from his banner, I think. Or was it Albedo's? I know that I was pulling on Albedo's banner. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters in a row where I won the 50-50. Of course. Character, rerun, new character. So that is... Wait, I didn't do it right because Ganyu's still up there. And... yeah.
Just what will we come across this time?
At least Zach has a few more lines.
Over there. Come on.
Well, on Ganyu's banner, we had Diana and Xingyan. But yeah, this is the order in which I acquired every single character. Or at least their first copies. Kind of interesting to see, isn't it? And of course, pretty soon we will have Eula too.
I won't hold you back. Much.
Time to begin work? Let's go. Time is against us.
I suppose I could group up different characters to give them more XP. I don't know how consequential that is. Probably not much in this case. But did not get the... oh, launched right into that.
Lady Vanessa, I hope your watch over Mondstadt remains unclouded. I do not know if I, or the rest of the world, as you had hoped for, have become stronger.
Interesting views of her. So her canonical sword is the Aquila Favonia, which I don't have for her.
Hi, Jean. Are you feeling better now?
Much better.
I was not expecting you to come here. Thank you for your concern.
Are you sure? We saw you beneath the tree just now, leaning on your sword. It looked like you were struggling.
And praying.
Are you sure you aren't pushing yourself too hard?
You can always rely on the other knight.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me. Hearing that boosts my spirits. But I must find a way to cope with minor setbacks like this on my own. Otherwise, how can I be the protector that Mondstadt needs me to be? The protector that Vanessa was.
I'm sure even she didn't just go and do things all on her own. She relied on others.
You truly revere Vanessa, huh?
I do. Vanessa was the first Grandmaster, a kind yet formidable woman. I have always hoped to follow in her footsteps.
I think that describes you pretty well too.
As the Lionfang Knight, she courageously overthrew the oppressive ruling aristocracy of her time. Then, she founded the Knights of Favonius and became known as the Dandelion Knight, spreading grace and compassion throughout the land.
You're pretty well known too, Dandelion Knight.
Dandelion Knight? Isn't that your title?
Actually, all of the Knights of Favonius Masters throughout the ages have inherited the title of Dandelion Knight or Lionfang Knight.
Yes, but you're acting Grandmaster, so what title does Varkas have?
Oh, that makes sense now. You too want to be as gentle as the Dandelion Knight, and yet as fierce as the Lionfang Knight.
Yes, I know it sounds like a huge honor inheriting both these titles from Vanessa, but I see it more as a huge responsibility.
There.
After all, it is a lot to live up to.
Actually, Dandelion Knight suit.
Paimon thinks so too.
Huh?
Jean?
Who's there?
Caught red-handed.
Wait, you again?
Finally, an opportunity comes to get rid of the Master in a moment of weakness. And then you two show up and ruin everything.
Kinda odd you popped up now, but if you want to fight, I'll give it to you.
How did they know about Jean's condition? Choosing this moment to strike is a low blow, even for this lot.
I'm thinking it don't matter much.
As long as my name is the Dandelion Knight, I swear I shall not be defeated by such despicable means.
There's the crystal flyer next to you. Could you reach out and... Never mind.
Since this opportunity has slipped away, I shall now be
Stop! After him!
Jean, you're still recovering.
You could be luring Jean into a trap.
No, I must go after him.
Jean, you can't keep doing this to yourself. Why can't you trust us to handle it?
I do trust you, but to let an enemy get away like this would be a major dereliction of duty.
You know, you are the acting Grandmaster of the Knights. You could get some others to help you.
Fine, but at least let us go with you.
Thank you for your understanding. I will graciously accept your help.
You would have just slashed that thing apart. Of course. It is a fire. Well,
Next on the agenda.
you would have needed chaos help. Kinda cool to be running along beside her.
Next on the agenda.
Now they're cracking the whole thing, and she goes right inside. So no suggested or recommended elements at level 69, which we have anyway. And I think this is a fine party. We'll probably have Jean as a trial character. Let's do it. I don't know about the Wind Trace event. I know I said a lot of things about how it could be better. They're also true, but it's also fun as is. Big Bald. Oh, look, it's the shield. There's really nothing else around. Oh, wasn't expecting that. I guess he's firing back at us.
Are you hurt? Ugh, darn him and his traps.
How badly are you hurt? Oh, one of my own being injured because of me is the last thing I would wish for.
Not because I
Let
had
me
Eula
handle
traps.
this alone.
No,
Nope.
you are in no state to handle this alone. We're coming too.
Okay, but before we move out, at least let me heal everyone with my dandelion breeze.
Thanks. You're amazing.
Oh, so this mission is to showcase Jean. Is this back to where we started? Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. Yeah. That's gonna open in the other direction. Guess I go this way.
Adventure time.
Here there'll be something popping out here.
Born of ice and frost.
Oh, is that an instant heal? That's pretty good.
All hail. Teamwork is dreamwork. Let's light it up.
I just have to recharge beams. Good. Yeah. Looks like there are boxes.
I'll catch up.
These again. Come on. Ooh, is it?
Incoming. Speed of light.
Looks like the community only stretches so far. Oops. I did not plan on falling in. I wanted to use her ability to get across at least part of it. Well. Hmm? Let's see if they like it. Why does switching take so long?
Incoming.
He's charged. Everyone charged except for Gunny.
Access denied.
Pretty sure that was possible. Wait, not her. Her. Yeah. I had a feeling. Of course, if I had made it land near the base, I may have been able to shut that down completely. Gentlemen, on your toes.
Speed of hey. Don't blink. Hey.
You're pretty tough. But not so tough that you want to take a plunge. There's something here. Guessing this is where we're facing. Idea.
No touching.
You're gonna interfere with my swirling, aren't you? You're a bit tougher than you. He did say that he buffed them. Alright. Over here. Bye-bye.
Looks like our fates are intertwined. To think you pushed me this far. Fine. Let me deal with you myself. Blaze over.
You sure you can? Oh, your slimes are gone.
Born of ice and frost.
Well, is there are a few more? Oh, did you summon them?
I must leave no stone unturned, as a dutiful maid would.
That was a little.
Thanks to Barbara's help, my condition is better than I thought.
Yeah, but you still gotta avoid pushing yourself.
The main thing is that you're safe. Now, isn't it time to get back to Mondstadt and rest, Acting Grandmaster?
Yes, I should at least go and thank Barbara again. I hope she is not upset with me.
I don't think it's possible for her to get very upset with you. Honestly, those chests have had some pretty disappointing things. Although I'm probably much higher level than I would be ideally for that, mostly because I've been putting off doing quests. Not that I don't want to do them, but I do want to stream them. And also, I put off doing the quests and do other things because I know that since we've only gotten 2 zones at the moment, most people are more or less out of quests at the higher ARs. I'm still AR45, of course, even though I have enough adventure experience to go further. I want to get my teams better equipped first before I start doing stuff like that. Instead, and talk to G. Rate my progress, my exploration 99%. It'd be funnier if I'm ahead of her. So, all things considered, probably be better if I would have taken her on the teleport. Since we know it's possible. There are a few characters who can do teleport, but normally it's not very long. Venti did in the cutscene. Also interesting to talk to her as Noelle, considering what their positions are. Oh, you're talking to one of the guards.
Master, you finally returned. The Animo Archon protects you.
That's a different way of saying it.
Swan, were you waiting for me? Has something happened?
Yes, at the Angel's Share. Don't worry, it's nothing big, but...
Has there been a bar fight?
Okay, I know I said it's nothing big, but... Alright, how can I put this? They just really need the Acting Grand Master.
Huh?
Well, if you say so, Swan, I will go. I should not let the other knights down. It's fine. Now that I have had the chance to stretch my legs, I feel much better.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. You really saved me on this one.
For goodness sake, what is happening to the world? Swan used to be the most honest fellow, now he's dumping things onto Jean.
Well, Swan was clearly agitated. Maybe it is an emergency after all. Let's go and see what this is all about, shall we?
Right.
Mondstadt welcomes you.
Did his voice just change? Well, let's go to the tavern and see what's what.
Fresh fruit, only at Quinn's Fruit.
And here's our good friend Stanley. And Cat. Where to then? On the other side of the continent, there's a barren domain where nothing but a sea of ashes with nothing but silence that will make your ears ring. The monster created a vortex in the ashen sea, and I would have been sucked into it if Stanley had not held tightly onto my hand. Sadly, I was the only one who returned home to Mondstadt with tears in my eyes. Are you falling asleep? Wake up.
Come in, take a seat.
Still calling yourself Stanley? So you already know about the fact that Stanley was actually my friend. You must have heard the truth at the bottom of my bottle, I suppose. I do remember that I did meet you and someone else to boot while drunk one day. I can't quite remember why, but I've felt much more relaxed ever since then. I only call myself Stanley today in order to ensure that his tales will remain on everyone's lips. I imagine that if this were me from before, being exposed like this would have frustrated me. So he doesn't remember that he met Barbatos.
Take it back, Allie. I shouldn't get caught buying alcohol.
I guess that wraps up one possible plot there. Interesting. It's getting late though, so after this I will choose someone to raid and end the stream once this quest ends. This doesn't look like the usual tavern. And Barbara's here too.
What's all this?
It's a thank you party for you.
A thank you party?
Jean, when we heard the news about your illness, we were all so worried about you.
We can only imagine how much pressure you must be under as acting Grand Master, and you do so much work all over Mondstadt.
We thought that since you so rarely take any time off, we'd take this chance to throw you a party. Enjoy yourself, Jean.
Yeah, we did a bunch of work for you too.
After all, you'll never let us do this once you're back at work.
Jean?
What's Barbatos doing here?
Huh? Is this Jean when she's shy? I've never seen her like this.
It's easy to forget that outside of work, Jean is just a normal person, like anyone else.
Of course you would know that as her closest friend.
This is just all such a surprise. Thank you, everyone. This really means so much to me.
So can you relax on occasion?
Well, it's nothing compared to the amount of work you do for all of us, day in and day out.
Yeah, so you can rely on us to help you.
But there are so many things I still need to do.
You've taken care of some of your commissions.
Fear not.
And there's do you look into
To make
that.
sure you could relax and enjoy yourself. So while you were away, we all pitched in and finished off your work for you. Every last task.
So this is what Kea was up to.
Do you really? Even the issue with the food deliveries?
Do you know what the food deliveries were for?
It was no different from what we see on patrol. A couple of hilly churls. Didn't take much to get rid of them.
And the tax returns?
I spent so much time doing library admin. A few more pieces of paper to deal with was really nothing to worry about.
Well, what about Margaret's missing cat?
Are you kidding me? That rascally prince was apprehended by the brilliant honorary knight. And he also reclaimed my precious astral iron strings while he was at it.
What's your allergy?
Enough already. No more thinking about work today. Enjoy yourself while you've got the chance.
It is my honor to work alongside you all. Praise be for the Animo Archon's guidance.
He's right over there, and I'm not sure what guidance he...
Speaking of work, it must have been hard work to put all this together. Where did you find the time?
Ask Kale.
Actually, our friend here was the key organizer behind all of this.
The organizer, huh?
See all of this food and drink? He made sure it all arrived on time.
Yes, I
Not
did
only
that.
but he cooked each one of these beautiful dishes himself.
Ah, so that's what it was.
So relax already. There's no need to be so modest.
That explains a lot.
Of course, we also have Master Diluc to thank for the venue. Otherwise, we would be looking at quite an alarming bill right about now.
You might want to watch what you say, or he might still bill you, Kia.
Despite my initial reluctance to sponsor a Knights of Favonius event in any way, I, like any other citizen of Mondstadt, owe Jean my gratitude for her hard work.
Oh, Master Diluc,
Still calling him master. Wait. That's kind of the way everyone calls her master.
Alright,
But he wasn't the
alright.
Grandmaster.
Jean's supposed to be taking it easy. Stop crowding her.
Okay.
Agreed. Now, let the party begin.
Good and cheerful party is enjoyed by all.
Everyone seems to be partying hard. Paimon thinks we should join in the fun. Let's go and mingle. Oh, and Paimon thinks she saw Jean go upstairs by herself. Let's make sure the woman of the hour doesn't get left out.
Hey, having a good time?
Why did you say I was the organizer?
The thing is, Jean knows all of us so well now. When someone organizes a surprise party for you, the closer you are to them, the more bashful you tend to feel about the whole thing. So instead, we just gave you all the credit. After all, you did do more than your fair share of the work anyway.
Only because of what you set up. You gave me the credit to hide your own shyness.
Of course! This party was clearly Kaya's idea. Shy Kaya? This is gold.
You think so?
So you admit it!
I'm only indulging you since it's such a special day today.
So, when does Noel get to be a knight?
That's class number 37.
37 what?
What's Diluc doing?
I'm keeping count of this bard's alarming pace of progress through my wine. Only the knights drink for free tonight. It seems he didn't get the message.
Are you gonna bill him later? You know what his personal finances state is.
When he sobers up, I will present him with the bill.
Diluc, you're a meanie.
I'm joking, of course. I highly doubt he could afford it anyway, so I shall spare him the bill.
So what are you gonna hit him with instead?
But I must say, the sheer volume of alcohol this fellow can put back is just not normal.
Well, he isn't a normal person after all. You know this. Hey, I know that table.
My word! The Dawn Winery's wine is every bit as delectable as they say. I would never be able to afford this normally. So, in the spirit of enjoying the moment while it lasts, another glass for the bard, please.
You may make him consider billing you, at least for part of it, so I'd watch your pace. If only for that, and not also for the reason that you're, well, clearly going to be very, very drunk.
Venti can drink a frightening amount.
Ah, hello! I didn't see you there.
I'm not sure you saw much of anything, really.
I blame the wine for monopolizing my attention. invention. Much like my ballads, it deserves to be enjoyed for generations to come. What is this floating sensation I feel? Have I discovered the true meaning of animal power?
I think you have rediscovered drunkenness.
That would be the drink talking.
I hereby declare that every son and daughter of the City of the Wind must be compelled to taste this finest of wines. Here's the good wine!
Slow down already. Just turns to look at us. Always.
Oh, wow.
What's up?
Amber, you look like you're about to burst into tears. Whatever is the matter?
Two things. One, this sweet madame. Two, this sticky honey roast.
Oh yeah, those were two of the things that we cooked, aren't they?
Did you make them?
Yes.
I refuse to believe it. Where did you suddenly learn to cook so well?
You know, I picked up the recipes. I guess you've been in my party. You know how it works.
I'm going to finish eating this, and then you're going to teach me everything you know. Don't you dare try and run off.
Very well, then.
Hum, nom, nom, nom.
Hungry girl.
Has Amber been drinking?
I guess it's possible, certainly. Notice there aren't any other patrons besides these knights. And yet, there are still other knights, too. If I stand on this side while I talk to them, should be fine. This hat does kind of get in the way of it.
This is quite a lot of excitement considering the idea was to relax and take it easy.
Would a drink help you relax?
Is there anything without alcohol?
Actually, there is. Charles was offering 3 items, and I'm sure Deluc would be pleased if you had those instead of the stuff that Venti has been guzzling.
What do you normally drink?
Oh, you know, I normally mix a few things together, but I always add some bright red.
Right, the chilies.
Red? Let me guess. Tomatoes. No, watermelon.
We know this from her hangout.
Chilies. I add chili peppers.
Right, for her voice.
Chili pepper? In a drink?
Yeah, we know about all this. You remember? Oops.
Leaving the hustle and bustle of the banquet behind them, the two of them stood there, together, in the quiet of the night, while the rest of the world melted away around them.
What you doing?
Sounds like the sort of thing you'd find in a romantic novel, now.
Depends on your opinion.
I'm not trying to get you to recite poetry to me or anything. I'm just saying, Jean went upstairs to the balcony. Alone. Now's your chance.
You a shipper on deck? I thought you were aiming for me. Well, that's everyone downstairs. So me being Noelle right now means that she's shipping Noelle and Jean dead. Probably this way. Not that I couldn't get up with Venti skill, but I'd also have to go outside that. This bit is a lot longer than I thought it would be, but then again, I've also talked to him. But then again, I don't think I'd have the opportunity otherwise. I have to do it while the mission's on. I'm completing 2 quests today. Story quests. But Eula's will bring on another one. But I still won't run out of story.
Oh, it is you.
Yep, again. Having a good time?
Yes, I am just getting some air.
Sure.
Uh-oh. It seems like something's bothering Jean.
I want to thank you again.
We're looking more upbeat now.
It is good to be here together with everyone. It has lifted my spirits.
Yes, you can be with them more and also depend on them more.
And it has taught me something.
What's that?
I am definitely more of a dandelion knight than a lion fang knight.
Good so far.
The lion fang knight represents Vanessa's past, a past in which she fought hard for Mondstadt.
Well, there may be a struggle upcoming, but not one currently. We'll have to fight the Abyss Order, and we also are not in favor of what the Fatui is doing.
But it was the dandelion knight that represented her hopes for the future, a future belonging to the newly formed Knights of Favonius.
And Vanessa would be so proud of who you are right now.
I do believe that Vanessa watches over us, whether from high up above or from the wind all around us.
I wonder how she never became an Archon. Let the wind lead.
Let the wind lead. The winds of freedom will guide us along the path that lies ahead. I hope you will continue to join us on that path.
Oh, as long as you help me with my sister. And that is the second path. Yes, it's possible for me to decide from upstairs. Do? You don't have.
Come in, take a seat. We have a few specials today.
I'll catch up.
Those are those two. Over and done with.
Add Astra at...
Check on all my stuff later. But in any case, you may be a bit short, but time is going on. I will be ending the stream shortly. Yes, that's fine. So I'm pretty good on time. Also, the weekly bosses are up, but I'll do that later. Oh, that's really a lot of lag. But if you like what you saw, you can, of course, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once again, thank you again for your follow again. I'm still Delicious, which is also true of me. And you can like, comment, and subscribe over on my YouTube. My YouTube is bnuts. My Twitch is bnuts001. the numbers, not spelled it. I will choose someone to raid and then go on. Let's go with Tiffany Butcher this time. So thanks again for watching, and until the next time, please do stay safe, stay healthy, and be excellent to one another. Bye-bye.